Wait. Did Nathan just say I'm calm, but I can go off? That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ree and we are about to dive into this episode of Insecure Season 5, Episode 9. The second to last episode, guys. Whew, it went by really quickly, but let's dive right in. It's the episode that I think everybody has been waiting for and they did not disappoint. You know what? I don't even think I can start from the beginning and go to the end. I think we need to start right at that last scene because that was everything. Nathan has been waiting for this moment. Nathan knew something was gonna happen. Even we saw Nathan's friend come by and he's just like, are you about it? Like, should we do something here? Like, we could give him a different kind of fade. And Nathan's just like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna be the bigger person, but there's some weird tension. So it was boiling up to this moment, but I don't think anybody expected it to go down like this. Okay, so we basically see that Issa and Lawrence are talking. They bump into each other. Issa's trying to keep it moving. She's trying to keep it light. Lawrence is definitely not having it. He wants some answers. He wants closure. He loves the girl, he said. I love you. And I should have fought harder. Issa's just thinking, this is not the right time, the right place, the right situation. I need to go. Lawrence is just like, no, are you happy? Tell me if you're happy or not, because I realized I didn't fight for you like I should have. And you are who I want. I love you. I'm not happy when I'm not with you. So they've been, not together for a while, for a long time, over a year, I think at this point. And he's just not taking this well. He just wants her back. He also sees her looking great, may I add, with her new man. Nathan's looking good too. He obviously gets the scoop that they're moving in together. So he's like, are you happy? Issa's just like, this is not the right time or place. Then we hear, what's all this? Nathan pops in. He's like, what's all this? Okay, I'm just like, what's happening here? He said, Lawrence first says, I love you, and Issa doesn't even get the opportunity to respond because Nathan is there. The camera pans to Nathan. We see him standing there. Issa's just like, we weren't talking about anything. I was just throwing out something. I was just throwing something away. Lawrence is like, no, we were actually having a conversation. Nathan's just like, what the F are you doing right now? What are you doing, bro? Then the man says, calm down. First of all, you don't say that to people. I hate being told to calm down, but you're gonna say it to the man when he's just seeing you talking with his girl, and obviously things were heated in the conversation. You could obviously tell that things were heated. Nathan then says, okay, he says, I'm calm, but I can go off. He says, I stay ready. He said, knuck if you buck. He says, oh, he's ready to fight. He's like, I've been waiting for this, because obviously things have been brewing between both of them. Nathan has definitely been feeling vulnerable in the setting because obviously Lawrence is friends with these people too. Nathan just brought into this as a boyfriend. Things are kind of messy. So then they kind of go at it. They're kind of pushing each other. Then Molly's date, Torian, comes in and kind of, bear hugs Lawrence, trying to keep him off to the side. Issa is grabbing Nathan, but things are literally, they want to fight. I think if it was a different situation, they wanted to fight. That scene was wow. So then what's his name? Nathan's like, I'm good. I just need a second. The scene just ends. One episode left. How the heck are we going to wrap this up in one episode? How the heck are we going to wrap this up in one episode? I literally watched that back 3 times. Tell me how many times you guys watched that back, because I know it just wasn't once. I know it was not once. These writers, I'm telling you, this season has me it has me feeling so many things. It has me invested. I've always been invested, but the writing is fantastic. The directors are incredible. the actors are coming correct. I'm in awe. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I just couldn't. It wouldn't be natural to start from the start when we had this hanging over our heads. It wouldn't make sense. Okay, so the episode opens up with Issa and Nathan checking out places. Obviously, they decided to move in together. So I thought they're going to move into Issa's place, but they're going to find new places, which is so sweet. They're walking around. They're looking so cute. But then Issa's just like, oh, this place is big. You can have the second bathroom, like having separate bathrooms, which is just the dream. That is the dream. Or at least 2 separate sinks. So she's like saying, oh, you can shave here, you can leave the seat up, you could do whatever with the seat, whatever. He's like, I don't know what kind of guys you're living with, but like, you know, we're not all the same. They obviously then have a moment of awkwardness because they know she was living with Lawrence, like, so it's kind of awkward. Nathan always does that cute little smile. He's like he doesn't really know what to do. Issa's just kind of like, so anyways, we move on from that, but we find out that they actually don't get the place. The man already rented the place, even though they're in the apartment. But real estate market, the renters market moves so quickly in major cities. Toronto is no different, so you have to move so quickly. Okay, and then we see Molly and Torian. Obviously, they've been getting together. They've been dating. Things are going well. Torian gets a promotion. They're all in his business like, oh, what's going on here? Then he lets it be known, like, I did get a promotion. Well, they guessed, and then he's like, yeah, I got a promotion. Molly's instant reaction was obviously to give him a hug, to embrace him, but then obviously realizes, like, this is very inappropriate. Like, what am I doing? So then she tells the other women, the colleagues, to give him a hug too, to try to make it seem less awkward. But obviously, as soon as they walk away, which was very kind of strange how they walked away, the coworkers were like, they're obviously sleeping together. Like, come on, they're obviously sleeping together. And they're just like, yeah, confirmed it. So things are happening, but obviously the relationship is doing well. His career is also doing well. Molly's is doing well too. So we kind of see how that's going between them, which is very sweet. And then we move into Lawrence. Lawrence and his friend, I think his friend's name is Chad. Chad is just funny, but Chad also has really good like things to say. Like, between all the crap he talks, he actually has like good points and things that resonate with Lawrence. You could tell, like, anytime they speak, Lawrence always takes like one kind of speckle of words that he throws out all the time, because he's like one of those people that just talk for the sake of talking, but he has some real things to say. So he's wondering if he should go to Tiffany's and Derek's goodbye party, because like they're Issa's friends. Chad then has to remember who Issa even is, because he's just like, I forget. Then he's like, well, you know, you kind of let things happen to you. You just let life happen to you. You didn't fight for the girl. So, you know, I don't even know why it's a problem to go. And so Lawrence is thinking to himself, did I not fight for Issa? Like, I just kind of respected her wishes maybe, or I just kind of had so much going on, but I did not fight for her. And that's obviously the person that Lawrence loves. So he obviously decides to go to the goodbye party. Okay, now we're at the party. We're there. Everyone's looking spectacular. Kelly just looks good. Hair looks good. Dress looks good. Tiffany has some cool little dress going on. She looks great. Issa with her orange dress and her braided ponytail. Molly with her black and white dress with the low back. Molly brings Torian as a date. Obviously, Issa brings what's his Nathan, and obviously Kelly is there as well. So this is very exciting. And also we get to see that Issa and Nathan tell their friends that they are going to be living with each other soon. They're looking for a place together, and their friends are happy for them. And then we see after that Lawrence and Condola come in with the baby, and Lawrence first sees Issa, and then he sees that Nathan is walking up with some drinks. So he obviously puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that's her boyfriend. So that's happening. And then we get to see Issa seeing Lawrence, and Issa's looking over. She sees him with the baby, and she's just there. And then Nathan looks over too, and Nathan acknowledges him. He's like, oh, is that the ex? Which is just like, sometimes you just have that gut feeling, because obviously they've never met before. And also I'm sure she doesn't have like pictures of him on her Instagram. Also, I wonder, are you guys the people that like, if you guys break up, you're deleting all the pictures, or do you keep the pictures on because it was a past relationship and you don't need to like remove everything that's ever happened in your life? I would be interested to know that, because maybe it's also about how the relationship ended too. Anyways, so I think sometimes you just get that gut feeling like, I know that's him, you know? And also they have a baby with them. So yeah, so obviously Nathan knows that. Now it's kind of like you feel the tension now. You feel the like dynamic kind of shift a little bit, because like obviously her ex is there, and obviously Nathan's thinking, my girl's ex is here. You know, people don't want to be in that position. And Nathan could also feel like he was the second choice, because obviously last season Issa did go to Nathan and say, I'm getting back with my ex, but we're like, so we can only be friends. And then obviously Lawrence had the baby, and then now they're together. So it's almost like for Nathan, are you only with me because Lawrence is having a baby? And my answer is yes, Nathan, yes. Even though I love you, the answer is yes. Okay, so obviously Tiffany is not taking moving to Denver well. She's trying her best, but obviously she does not want to move at all. It's like in her speech, but I don't know if we're going to see more with that, you know. But then later on when the girls are talking, we see that she's going to be kind of coming back just to stay in touch with her friends. We also see that Jerome makes an appearance. I've been waiting for this. I'm like, I know they're going to be bringing some people back in, and they bring Jerome. Jerome, you messy. Dro, you messy. But I love seeing you too. Okay, so yeah, that's happening. And then the guys go off for a chat. Like after Tiffany's done giving her very sad speech, she wants to take the girls, and then the guys all seem to go off to have a chat. And obviously Nathan is there, Dro is there, and obviously Lawrence is there with like a bunch of other guys. So they're all chatting, they're saying whatever, and then I forget how it all happens, but Nathan is like, they're talking about barbecue, and Nathan's just like, LA, you guys got some good weather, but leave the barbecue alone. And then Joe comes in and he's just like, no man, like we've got good barbecue. And then Lawrence feels like this is his opportunity to kind of lay it in and show his like, you know, show his muscles, you know, because they're obviously all like, they have pride and stuff like that. And so he's thinking, this is my opportunity to like let you know and put you in your place about barbecue. So he's just like, no, we've got good places. We got this place, we got that place, we got this place. And then Nathan's just like, I'm from Houston, so I know about barbecue. And then everyone's like, okay, yeah, you got it. Like you know about barbecue. And then Lawrence is like, I'm not letting this go. He's like, no, I still think we know about barbecue. Then they start to have like some subliminal like messages to each other. They're just like, yeah, I think you just are not, I forget what they're saying, but we all know that they're talking about Issa. Like they're obviously having a conversation about Issa, and everyone is feeling that awkward tension, because if they didn't connect the dots before, and now they're connecting the dots and being like, oh no, like, you know. So the conversation with the guys definitely ended off strange. And then Issa's brother Amal, I think his name is Amal, tried to like rectify the situation, just kind of change the topic, and he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And then pow, Nathan hits Lawrence, and he's just like, Issa and I are looking for places tomorrow. We're getting an apartment together. Lawrence face, he was not happy about that. So, but Nathan, you could tell like Nathan was just like, last punch, you know, just like, boom, KO. So yeah, that was awkward. And then we move in and we see the girls talking. Obviously Molly and Torian did edibles, so Molly feels like, you know, she's getting that high. They're just chatting, they're saying like, we're going to keep in touch, we're going to see each other often. And then we see Condola come in. I like pause. I'm just like, wait a second. I like pause the TV. I'm like, Condola comes in, because obviously we had to see this happen too, because Issa and Condola have never spoken, right? They saw each other. Well, I don't even know if Condola saw her in the hospital, but Issa saw Condola and Lawrence. So anyway, so Condola and Issa have a very short conversation. The other girls were like, leave them to talk, and when the Condola comes in, they're all like, hi, like very awkward, very slow, very like, why are you here? What's going to happen? So then Issa and Condola have a little chat, very, very short, very brief. But Issa's just like, the baby's cute and you guys are doing a good job. And Condola's just like, yeah, I've been hearing what's going on with you too, and you're doing a great job. So very brief, very cordial, done. Like, we don't really need to see much more than that. Like, they're obviously not going to be fighting, but they're not friends. So keep it simple, which I think was great. So yeah, that happened. And then we see the Dro convo with Dro and Molly, and that's kind of strange too, because Molly's obviously high, but they're talking about his divorce, but he doesn't really want to speak about it. But yeah, it's just like nothing's happening there either. And then he's reminiscing. He's like, we used to be really close, but Molly's kind of like, you know, you can't, it's hard to come back when you are hooking up with your friends and stuff, with your married friends, even though they have an open relationship. Like, it's hard to now get back to a real friendship. And it's tough because they were friends from when they're little, but obviously they're not friends anymore. So then Torian comes in, and then Molly tells Torian everything, like, oh yeah, they're in an open relationship. I used to sleep with him, but now we don't, and I haven't seen him in a long time. Something like that. Torian's just like, okay, cool. Like, that's fine. And maybe it's a mixture of he actually doesn't care. Also, he's high. We don't really know, but he's thinking it's in the past, so there's nothing really to talk about here. So that's pretty cool, and I think that Molly really appreciates that, because it's just like we all have pasts. We all have a past. Who doesn't? So now we're trying to create a future with each other. We're trying to create a present. So let's just kind of focus on that, which I liked. And Dro just looked so big next to Torian and Molly. It almost looked comical, because he's a big guy. Like, he's a big guy. So yeah, anyway, so that was kind of it with that. And then we see Condola telling Lawrence that her and Issa spoke very briefly, and you could see again that Lawrence obviously hasn't spoken to Issa yet, so his wheels are turning. He's feeling away. He's thinking like, I definitely want to speak to her. And then Condola's also on her way out. She's going home with the baby. So yeah, I think Lawrence is happy because he wants to speak to Issa. And then this is a scene I love, and this is why I think the writing, directing, everything this season is just so spot on. It's just because we needed Nathan to have a moment, and the fact that they brought in his friend Eric, or Arik, they brought him in, I think that was just so smart. We needed to have an escape for Nathan, like a way for him to kind of release and like say his side of the story and say how he felt. So this was his opportunity. Obviously, Arik was coming to pick up the barbershop keys, and so Nathan was just like, Issa's ex is in there, it's really weird. And then Arik's just like, okay, like, say the word, like, should we fight him? Like, I'm here, I have your back. And Nathan's just like, no, I'm cool, I'm, you know, gonna take the high road, I'm cool. And then the friend was just like, okay, just let me know, like, say the word. Obviously, I think it was all kind of like a joke, but we needed to kind of have a space for Nathan to release his frustrations and his irritation for the whole situation, because who would like to be in a situation like that? Like, not at all. And then he's even like, yeah, he's trying to be like, quit, like, you know, slick and kind of say these things like, shut up, like, just shut up. But Lawrence is feeling away too. So, and Lawrence is just like, he's there, and it's kind of tough when you both see each other, and obviously Lawrence has something on his heart to say, and so he sees Issa, he sees her with like her new boyfriend, and he has something to say, and it's just like they haven't spoken. they haven't even given proper eye contact. So I think he's just like itching to say something. Okay, so then there's a fun scene with Molly and Torian. They're eating a lot because, you know, they're high, whatever. But then they go and they're hiding because someone's coming in. And they have a nice chat. Molly's just like, I feel really like I could be comfortable with you. Like, this feels easy. It feels good. And she's like, I'm just don't want you to get tired of me. I feel like, you know, in my past, a lot of times things end because the guys get tired of me or I act up. And Torian's just like, this is actually the reverse. Like, I'm not going to get tired of you. I didn't like you at the beginning, and now I'm just growing to really like you. So I'm really, really interested. Well, it's going to be done. So we're not going to see how the relationship blossoms or anything, but he seems like a nice guy. Obviously, we saw him in a weird light this episode, and his first time being around her friends, and he was, you know, a little off. But yeah, he seems like a good match for Molly, and that's all we can ask for, right? It's just like, it feels good, and Molly feels good, so I'm happy about that. And then, of course, they have sex. So in Tiffany's parents' pantry. Okay, so yes, now we're at the last scene. That crazy last scene where Lawrence finally tells Issa how he feels, and he says, love. I love you. I'm still in love with you. I want to be with you. I don't feel like happy when I'm not with you. So the man hasn't felt happy for a long time because they've been apart for a while now. But I am so interested to know how next week's episode is going to go. I know if I was Issa, I'd be thinking about like, oh my gosh, like Nathan, like, is he upset with me? Like, you know, and it's kind of hard because it's like, okay, boy, like now you're coming in between my relationship. Like now my man's gonna be, you know, feeling away, and like, I'm telling you, I'm moving in with this person, or he already told him. So it's just like, our ship has sailed. Like, you know, our ship has sailed, and I'm with this person, so you have to respect that. But Lawrence is also just like, I may never have fought for you. I don't think he didn't fight for her in that first season when she cheated, and I know I don't think I would fight for her, but I think he still loved her, and she cheated and he left, whatever, and then now he's like, this is my opportunity. This is like in the romantic comedies where it's like, I need to fight for the person I love. So I respect that too, but I just don't think it was the time or the place. But man, that was a good last scene. Like, they were really about to fight. Things were about to go down. But let me know how you think the last episode is going to go, what you think is going to happen. I don't know how they're going to wrap this all up because it's one episode left. So like, is Issa going to choose Nathan, or is she going to choose Lawrence, or is she going to choose her damn self and just say goodbye to both? Like, we really don't know. Obviously, Tiffany, I don't think we're going to see what happens with her, but she definitely doesn't want to move to Denver, and I think Derek knows that. Molly with Torian, and then also Kelly. So there's a few people to wrap up just to kind of see, but they've been doing that within the season, which I've enjoyed. But yeah, I loved this episode. This was definitely the episode we've all been waiting for. Just that, like, woo, you know, really seeing some good stuff. But that's all for me today. I hope you guys liked this review, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. Okay, thanks guys. I will see you next time. Bye.